that parts of the cider press are still there. I don't know if that's true.
I haven't a clue.
In the longhouse?
Yeah, where Ivan lived, Bill Spry's. See, the house itself, that end, you couldn't get in to that bit from the house. That was done after.
Oh, I see.
So, kind of, I know they call it a longhouse, but I don't think it was originally.
Oh, right.
It was a cottage with a cider press
at the end.
on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when my parents first moved here, I don't know if
I suppose later would Slater's be a longhouse?
No, Slater's is a longhouse.
Oh, right.
A longhouse, is that a description?
Hendra, yes, yes. Where they've got a plum tree we've just been looking at.
Oh, yeah.
On the way up here. The front door to Austin's cottage used to be onto Water Lane.
Yeah.
When I first remembered it. And
was
it thatched?
No, not that I can ever remember.
No. Looks as though it might have been thatched.
Might have been. Yeah, could have been.
And was it Ivan West who made the sort of
He put
change?
it all together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes. And when did the Sprys leave? Can you remember?
Oh.
Relatively recently? I mean, my parents moved here in '63. I think they were still living there in
I think they must have been still there then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose Ivan must have bought it when it went on the market then. I don't think there was anybody in between. Bill Spry was...
No,
there was nobody in between.
There was somebody before Ivan.
Was there?
Was that Peter Young? Did he only rented it? I know.
I'm just trying to think, but it takes time for the wheels to turn.
I don't know.
I know Peter Young lived there.
There was a little man with glasses.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. No idea.
Because when Ivan went there, he had the wisteria go down the wall underneath the house and up on the side.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I know he cut it back.
Yeah, well,
it went right underneath.
Really?
Yeah.
It's come back again.
Yeah.
It's growing again.
It's probably still going underneath.
There was a greenhouse this side of the house, and I took it down for the glass, but I don't know what was in there. Do you?
No.
In years gone by, did there used to be the bottom road at Gallant, or was it just a beach?
It was a bottom road, yeah. And of course the station, because we had a passenger train then.
Right.
That's why that road down there is really called Station Approach.
Station Approach, yes.
But they call it Lower Water Lane now.
Do they?
But or St Sampson's. And of course it's
Yes.
Station Approach really.
Yeah.
See, where Fleeting's End is, that was Orchard.
Right, yes, yes.
And next door, Mrs Phillips was Orchard. There was a lovely orchard out at Sawmills. Beautiful one.
Is that still...
Mr Netherton used to have that.
Right, yes.
He used to walk out through every day out to Sawmills.
So that was
keep it all cut. And
behind the sawmills, going up the valley.
yeah, that's right.
Yes. There's still some signs that was a garden.
I think,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he had it out there.
Yeah.
Tell you where there was another orchard. It's up above Cape Rennick. All the way along there.
Yes.
Up at the top of that, there was an orchard all the way along to Lux.
So that would be where Roger Schwab planted the vineyard.
Well, he planted it in the field, but up above that.
Oh, really?
Kind of, on the... I tell you who used to garden up there was Margaret Miller's father.
Yes.
Mr Lee Warren. He had that. Mr Butson had the first bit, and then he had the next two. And that was old apple trees up there. Whether they're there now or not, I don't know.
Was that used for cider then, or just a normal mixture for...
More mixture.
Yes. Yeah.
So Margaret Miller's father, was he called Butson?
No, he was called Lee Warren.
Only warm.
Mr. Butson had the first bit of garden. He used to go up through the school. There was a right way up through the school, up through a gate, into that garden.
Right.
And Mr. Lee Warren's was on from that. And you went up between, well, the other side of the
Above.
donkey house that was in the opposite you.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a donkey house where they used to keep the donkey cart.
right.
My relations lived there too, in
Where
the house
Bruce,
behind the chapel.
the house behind the chapel. 2 little cottages sideways on. Yeah.
Yeah, they lived in the inside one.
Right.
And that little donkey house went with that cottage.
Right.
Was it for transport?
Yeah.
And by the side of that, there was a stile that went up to the top gardens.
And were they allotments at one point?
I would imagine they probably were.
Yes.
But there were a lot of apple trees up
There
there.
was, what's it called, orchard up the top too, where you go into Tinny's Lane. The top end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that was all orchard.
So that area above where Bruce Fletcher is now, I think some told me that used to be allotments.
Yeah,
It's all overgrown now
Yeah,
with
that's
trees.
right, yeah.
And there was a path up through.
that's right.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Lee Warren had them. Yeah.
So the most of the fruit was actually consumed by the householders, and then the
Yeah.
excess was,
And what wasn't was made
Sold.
into cider.
yeah, all made into cider, yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the word jowder. Is that the name for someone who'd buy the fruit? Jowder? You were just
You said
mentioning.
about jowder.
Huh?
Jowder, you said.
Yeah, well, those, with their little carts, 2-wheel carts, they used to buy orchard
Yes.
and then go round the place selling their apples.
And they were called jowders.
Jowder.
Jowders.
How was that spelled? J.
Bugger if I know.
I haven't got a clue. J-O-W.
J-O-W-D-E-R.
Yeah.
I
Something like that.
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, yeah.
I think John Jenkins mentioned in one of his articles of whether it was Jowders or Jouters.
Right. What
Because the same, whether they used to fish around as well in the season, like apples in the season, and then fish like
I see.
pilchard.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
So they swapped from one to another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And where would they go? They go down to Foy and Lostwithiel, would they?
I suppose so, yeah.
Was it?
But all where Stuart's house is, all that lot behind,
Yeah.
was all
See,
orchard.
Yeah. Drinix, is it called?
Drinix.
Drinix.
I'll tell you one, Saundry's in Lostwithiel. Jack Saundry was on the council, the
Right.
councillor. He was a jouter. He used to come to Foy with strawberries, with a 2-wheeled cart full of strawberries. And
Yeah.
he used to sell other produce as well.
So, how would he get from Lostwithiel to Foy?
Train.
Oh, the
Oh,
train that was running.
On the train. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And he'd bring the
Big
produce.
2-wheel cart, get on the train.
I
Ah,
see,
right.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'd sell it from the cart.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there was a market down at Foy underneath the King of Prussia, the butter market.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they used to, that's where Mrs. Philp used to take her eggs and things,
Right.
under the butter market down there.
Yeah, it looks like a market, doesn't it?
Mm.
The place. Yeah.
Yeah, it was always-
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that every week that they had that? Or how?
Yeah, they had it every week. Yeah.
Did sorry, Andrew, can I just the old road from Lostwithiel to Foy that comes through Torfree? Was that in? Can you remember that in being in regular use when you were young?
Yeah, always used to walk it.
Did they have
No vehicles.
not even horse-drawn vehicles?
I don't know about horse-drawn.
Because it looks as though
Well,
We used to walk
from
it.
Gallant to Lostwithiel, yes, but not
Not the other one, I don't
the
think.
other way.
yeah, because it looks part of it looks as though it was metalled at one point.
Might be.
If you go to Torfree
Yeah.
and walk past the nursery there and turn right and go down It's been reduced to single track now, but there is definite tar macadam
Well, of
being
course,
laid.
the Yanks, when they were here during the war,
Yeah.
they piped all the water. I mean, have you ever seen the pipes down in sawmills?
Yes, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they did that. There
Yes.
used to be a reservoir up in Paul's, I suppose it was Leon Field, wouldn't it be?
Oh, it came from up there, did it?
And they piped it down through and, of course, went across that track
Yes, yes.
down at the bottom.
It
But we
always
used to walk it.
yeah, it always intrigues me that they say that Sawmills Creek was known as Bodmin Pill
Mm.
because the merchants from Bodmin needed an access to the river and used to bring stuff down to the quay there, which still exists. But I wonder which way they came. Did they come?
Well, they must have come along that path, I would think.
Yes.
Because they always reckon it was the old road to Foy before the top one was built.
You know.
But I suppose they must have had coaches at one time. I don't know.
Mm.
Been very narrow.
It would seem unusual if they went, having come down to where the stream is, they then went up again to Lanheria and then came down again
No,
to
I would-
Bodmin
I
Pill.
would think they went down through.
They went through on
I
the
would
bottom of
think
that
so.
field
Mm,
and into what is now Lanheria Woods.
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what the Americans used.
They had a reservoir, the water supply and a reservoir down by Cairn Point Quay.
Yes.
And when they left, they offered it to Foy to sell it to Foy. They wouldn't buy it, so they smashed it up.
What the American?
The Americans, yeah, we used to have a lot of it.